If you want your video to look better than this, then you're gonna need to use some video lights. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to take your video from looking like this to looking like this. And all you're gonna need is two lights, a key light and a background light. I'm gonna have links in the description for all the gear that we use to make this video. Our key light is the Amaran 100DS with the lantern softbox attached, and our background light is the Amaran P60C, and we're using this for a nice light blue color to make the background pop. I recommend starting out by getting your key light brightness dialed in where it's just a little bit brighter than you would normally have a light on a day-to-day basis. You don't want it to be so bright that you're having to squint to see, but you also don't want to run the light so dark that your eyes are wide open and you feel like you can't see anything at all. So make sure that you get your light dialed into that kind of medium bright brightness. And then I like to get on my camera and lock the white balance in. I'm using a daylight light, so I need to lock it in at 5600 Kelvin. Once you get the main light set up, put it on a light stand, and I really like to use a lantern softbox because the lantern does a great job at spreading light around your face without having any harsh shadows. All the shadows on it just look super smooth. And you can adjust the amount of shadows that you have even more by moving the position of the light. So right now I have it just to the side of the camera. That does a good job at adding a little bit of depth to this side of my face. But if you want to add even more depth, then you can just grab the light and actually pull it over to the side even more. So now I've shifted the light even farther to the side, and you can see the left side of my face is just completely in shadow. So you can drastically adjust your key lighting just by changing the angle of the light. I typically like to have the light just barely above me and down at about a 45-degree angle, and that just does a great job at giving you nice flattering lighting. Once you get this set up and have your exposure locked in for the key light, that's when it's time to add the background light. So right now I just have a small Amaran P60C directly behind me. We're going to use this to change the wall from looking really dark like this to lighting the wall up and adding a nice pop of color, and it gives you that nice gradient effect in the middle as well. What's great about a light like the P60C is it's an RGB light, so you can change it to whatever color you want, whatever brand colors you like to use, or you can also always use it as a warm or a cool light just to light up your background a little bit and add a little bit more contrast to your image. So I recommend taking the backlight and then adjusting the intensity, the brightness of it, where it feels like it's at a good level where it's not going to be much brighter than your key light, but it's also not going to be so dark that you can't see any of the background. So right now I've got it at 20%, not quite bright enough. If we put it around 50%, then it has a nice gradient effect. Typically, the farther away from your wall you can get the light, the better, because it's going to spread even farther. Right now, the light's directly behind me. It's as close to the chair as we can have it. This is what happens if you turn the light up way brighter. It just kind of throws off the overall look of your image, and it can make a little bit more light than you want bounce off your wall and onto you. So I recommend run the light at about 50% or so. I really love using Amaran lights using the Sidus Link application because I can quickly adjust the brightness using my phone while I'm referencing my camera monitor to make sure that I have the right balance of background lighting to key lighting. So those are the two lights you need to make great YouTube videos anywhere, as long as you have a nice solid colored wall. You get your key light, set it up where it's a nice brightness that's not too bright or too dark, and then get a nice backlight, point it at your wall, get as far away from the wall as possible, and use that to spread some color. If you're interested in buying any of the gear I used to make this video, I have links to buy it all in the description below. If you have any other questions, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Like this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.